turn our attention to the draft. 6 and 24. People are it's multiples of 4 here with Browns' first-round picks. What do you think they do? Do they go wide receiver? Do they do tackle? It's kind of interesting.
I think if they stay at 6, they're going to go tackle. I just think Andrew Berry, all things being equal, I think he likes to take bigger guys early in the draft. We saw it with Jed Wills. We saw it with Mason Graham. When he has a high pick, he values big guys. Now, that doesn't mean if there's an elite receiver that is just way better than any tackle on the board, grade-wise, then maybe he takes that receiver. Same with like a Caleb Downs. I think that's the really interesting debate we're going to have between now and that first round. If Caleb Downs is sitting there at 6, would they take him? Would they trade down and let somebody else take him? And that's the other possibility is maybe they want to get another pick for 27. And so, Andrew, one thing he never does at this thing is rule out trading down, and he did that again today. So if they stay at 6 and they make the pick, I would bet on tackle, unless there's just some other position with some player who's just graded way above anybody else.
If Caleb Downs is sitting there,
that might be the guy.
I said last year I didn't think they would take a defensive player high in the draft, and they took him the first 2 picks, and they turned out pretty good.
Yeah, well, and it's fascinating to hear these GMs talk. They get asked every year about best player versus need, and that would be a best player versus need. Now, I think they need a safety. I don't think they're desperate for a safety, but they could certainly use an upgrade of, I think Grant Delpit's very good, and they found a nice role for him. I think Ronnie Hickman is fine. Caleb Downs, if he's Kyle Hamilton, or even more, if he's Ed Reed or Troy Polamalu or someone like that, how do you pass on that guy at number 6? And what if he ends up going to Cincinnati 4 picks later, and it's like, well, now he's going to terrorize you twice a year for 10 years? Normally, I would say you don't take a safety at 6, but if he's a difference maker like that, I think you have to consider it.
Well, think about that. Think about putting Ed Reed into the defense
right.
that you currently have.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're making you're making a strong unit stronger, and
right.
It's not adding somewhere where it's like, okay, now we've got. I think it was Eric DeCosta. It was saying, well, you can't just take best player available because then you'll end up with 17 outside linebackers, right? So obviously you have to be wary of that, but that wouldn't be the case with Caleb Downs. And this defense with Caleb Downs at safety, kind of running things on the back end, playing up near the line, whatever he can do, it would just go to a whole nother level.